Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 2 weeks ago, President Trump was sworn into office. He won the popular vote in the Electoral College. Don't like the results, but I accepted them. For the past 4 years, I've heard my colleagues on the other side of the aisle passionately defend Article 1 of the Constitution. Not anymore. I heard them speak about the importance of Congress's power of the purse. Not anymore. I heard them insist that only Congress can change laws and determine the structure of our government. Not anymore. In the past 2 weeks, we've seen a familiar pattern emerge. The president creates an issue, causing a crisis. There is confusion. Then he fixes the crisis, often by walking back the very same issue he created. Just this week, he threatened tariffs against our closest neighbors, import taxes that would drive up the costs for American consumers. There was no real reason, no real justification. But after days of uncertainty for businesses across the country, President Trump backed down. And what did he get in return? Promises from Canada and Mexico that they were already planning to do around border security. To make matters worse, while President Trump plays the bully on the world stage, an unelected billionaire has been running our government. Elon Musk, who was never confirmed by the Senate, never elected by the American people, now wields immense power. He has installed loyalists who stand to profit from unrestricted access to government records and the personal data of millions of Americans. He donated nearly $300 million to elect President Trump, and now he's getting his return on investment. He now has access to his competitors' financial information. He can dismantle agencies that have challenged him or threatened his businesses. The value of Tesla and SpaceX are tied directly to government approvals, and if he doesn't get his way, he stands to lose billions. Elon Musk is not accountable to the American people, yet he's using his unchecked influence to reshape our government for his own gain. The world's richest man has received over $20 billion from the federal government in the past. He enriches himself by pretending to be a selfless innovator. He uses his social media empire to amplify voices that agree with him and to spread misinformation designed to divide and destabilize. Now he's trying to shut down and overturn funding approved by Congress, funding that saves lives. Bipartisan programs like PEPFAR, which provides life-saving HIV treatment to millions, has been thrown into uncertainty. Stop work orders have frozen global health initiatives. New funding obligations and disbursements have been suspended. Healthcare workers have been told to stop. Clinics are being forced to close. Essential medicine and supplies can no longer reach those in need. The impact is devastating, especially for women and children who rely on these programs for survival. And here at home, this administration has found a new scapegoat for everything that goes wrong: diversity, equity, and inclusion. A plane and helicopter crash in our nation's capital must be diversity, equity, and inclusion. Wildfires in Los Angeles must be diversity, equity, and inclusion. A major IT system failure must be DEI. The collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge must be DEI. They blame DEI not because it's responsible, but because it's an easy target, because fear and division are their most effective tools. And yet, as they wage this culture war, they ignore the real crisis threatening our democracy and our communities. We have entered Black History Month, but now federal agencies are uncertain about how to recognize it due to new executive orders. The Pentagon even paused training about the Tuskegee Airmen because they weren't sure if teaching American history violated the president's mandate. We should not be afraid to teach our history to soldiers. We should not be afraid to teach our history to our children. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, John Lewis, Maya Angelou, A. Philip Randolph, and many more titans for diversity, equity, and inclusion played essential roles in shaping our nation. Their contributions made America stronger, and their stories need to be told. Yet today, politicians are telling young Black and brown children they will never earn or deserve a place in this country because of the color of their skin. We are at a crossroads. We can stand up for democracy, truth, and inclusion, or we can allow fear and division to dictate our future. I choose to fight for a country where every person, regardless of race, religion, or background, has a fair shot. I choose to stand against corruption and self-interest that puts lives at risk. I choose to defend the values that make our nation strong. I hope my colleagues on the other side of the aisle will remember their oath of office and that we answer to the U.S. Constitution, not a president. The silence from the other side is deafening. I yield back.
I recognize